Hello, my name is Justin Adams, and I was close to suicide, so here I am, I'm going to watch a bad movie. So this is a new thing I'm going to do, it's called Justin Appreciates, and I'm going to pick a very bad movie, or a very underappreciated, hold on, let me fix the camera. So this is going to be a new thing where I'm going to get a bad movie, or a movie that's underappreciated, and I'm going to talk about it. Justin appreciates it. While I say Justin appreciates, I'm probably going to be bashing the hell out of it, but it's, you know, it's one of those funny little titles that is what it isn't, you know what I mean? So, before I get started, I should say that I do have weed. Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. It is, the third part of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The Honey I Fucked Up series, it should be called. Honey, I Am a Terrible Parent and I Keep Fucking Up, You Should Divorce Me Right Now and Take the Kids Away From Me. Starring Rick Moranis.
When he shrunk the kids, he promised his shrinking days were over.
All right, shrink machine, one last time.
So why am I not starting with the first one, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves? Because that movie is amazing.
Cheerios, the one with oat bran.
It is a classic and it doesn't need to be appreciated because people already know enough. It doesn't have the attention that it used to have. You know, people don't talk about it as much as they used to, but it's still a great movie. It's nothing, there's some cheesy moments, but overall that movie is perfect. Now we have Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which is a very misleading title because he doesn't blow up the kid, like literally. He blow up the kid, like he steps on a landmine, then he blows up all over the place. No, nothing like that. He makes the kid big. And that one is just stupid. I don't like that one. I barely remember. The two that I remember though are Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which was a straight to DVD third chapter, Rick Moranis' last movie, I believe. And it is about them shrinking themselves. But the movie was my favorite as a kid. Now that's what I will say right now. That's why I am appreciating. That's why this was a movie that I grew up on, kind of. I mixed up the movies a lot. Like the second one was so bad I don't even remember it. You know, like no one does because it was stupid. The reason why I remember Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves so much is because Rick Moranis is actually shrunk. So that's what entertained me the most. I was like, sweet, this is going to be awesome. And as a kid, I did think it was awesome. I thought that it was the best one out of all of them. And I still kind of do because of how bad and stupid it is. Like,
but Rick Moranis has done it again.
We have critical mass.
Only this time,
Are we shrunk?
You shrunk us?
he's still got a few bugs to work out.
I rewatched it with my girlfriend. Yeah, we watched it and we were just both like, oh my god, this movie is so bad and awesome it is at the same time. Guys, this is Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Now this movie is set around a decade after the infamous blowing up the kid. And the kid that got blown up is back. He's played by Bug Hall, who went on to do American Pie Presents The Book of Love.
I want to have a little chat with you.
Do we have to?
I found the sock in the laundry.
Oh, jeez, Mom, put that away.
So his career is going great. He's recovered from being a big baby, and he, like, nothing ever happened. He wants to play baseball, but he has to go to science camp, blah, blah, blah. And the other two are gone. Amy and Nick, they're both in college, and they've, thank God, left the craziness of Rick Moranis. Oh, God. So the story is the worst part of the movie, kind of. The stories with the other two is kind of the best part, you know? How these kids, the neighbors, don't like each other. And then they're kind of stuck in this situation. And how they get shrunk is clever too, you know? It's not just stupid shit, you know? Like at first it was the baseball being thrown in there. And that's clever. And the second part, I don't really remember how the second part is, but I know how they both get shrunk. How the two sets of kids get shrunk is in a clever way, and it's not just them being shrunk just to be shrunk. The same thing with blowing up the kid. While I think that it's the least entertaining out of all of them and the least memorable, the kid blowing up is clever though. They do clever stuff with it. Now, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. This is the story. Wayne wants to shrink his tiki. He is a big tiki dude in the living room. And Diane is like, yo, get rid of this tiki. And he's like, No, this thing is awesome, and it's the weirdest fucking tiki thing. And it's like, why would you even... Who thought of this? Why? Where were you? Where you were like, this is what I need, and it's gonna be in my living room. It doesn't make any sense. And she's like, I tried putting my coat on it, and it's not even a good coat rack. How did you put your coat on it? Is what I'm wondering. Because it doesn't have any hooks, it's all smooth, so every single time, you can't put your coat on it because it's not a coat hanger first off, and you can't put your coat on it because there's nothing to latch it on. Oh god, it was weird. So he wants to shrink the tiki so he could keep it with him at all times, and you know, because guys rule. And so him and his brother Gordon, played by he's the best part, Stuart Pankin. I love that guy. He's not doing it so over the top. Like, there are some moments, but he does it pretty good. So he plays either Wayne's brother or his brother-in-law, something around. I think that they're brothers, probably. Who knows? They never really specify on it. Maybe they say something and I just didn't really pay attention. And Gordon is like, "Hey, you shouldn't do this." Wait, the story's all over the place. Oh yeah, I forgot. The wives, they go out of town. And the wives are Diane, who's played by... Eve Gordon is Diane, and then Robin Bartlett is Patty. And Robin Bartlett, talk about a woman who just cannot act. So out of town, Diane and Patty, they're planning to go out of town, I should say. And so Patty and Gordon leaves her kids with the dad. So Adam and then the two other kids, Jenny and Mitch. These are such simple names. The wives are planning on leaving, skipping town, and Wayne is like, "Oh, this is perfect time to get the kids out of the house, give them $10, and then we're gonna shrink this tiki thing." And Gordon's like, "Hey, the FBI, the United States say you cannot use it. Your wife say you can't use it." And Wayne's like, "My wife's not here. The government's not here. Why not?" He just doesn't give a. He does not give a fuck in this movie. Another thing that I don't really like about this is that they just throw away everything about the characters. Like, these aren't characters anymore. These are all full-on characters. And if you don't know what a character is, I'm not just saying that weird. Someone who's like a stereotype, who's just a movie character. They're not a full-fledged character. I'm not saying Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is great character-driven movies, but they're characters. You know, Wayne is kooky and Diane is they're a kooky family, but you believe that these are real people. Same thing with their kids. Wayne is not a real person anymore. Wayne is just, I want to shrink this tiki. First off, I get a tiki guy. It's like, why? How, when, and why? He says fuck it to everything, to the government, to his wife. He just says fuck it to everything, and he's like, I'm gonna shrink this tiki guy mode. He's like Batman and Batman v Superman, just fucking... So, Patty, she has this kid, Mitch, and Mitch has a potassium deficiency. And so he is this medicine, he's always sick all the time. His sister loves to fuck with him about it. Like, really, she's kind of a bitch. She's like, oh yeah, well, at least I'm not fucking sick all the time. And he's like, it's not my fault I have a potassium deficiency. Like, it's not his fault. Jeez, you bitch. This causes Diane and Patty to go back to the Selinsky house. And at this point, Wayne and Gordon, they're already shrunk. Like, they shrunk the tiki thing, and they're like, oh, let's go find it now, let's go see. And then the machine's going, and Gordon's like, the machine's still going. Wayne's like, oh, that's okay, no one's there to push the button. And of course the thing rattles, and then the balls, and then they fall. Clever, the first time it's clever, it's like, okay, it's like, whatever. And you know what, I would actually prefer the whole movie to just be Wayne and Gordon. Like, I would live without the wives being there. The wives didn't need to be there. The wives are just there to make the situation worse. You know, like, Wayne and Gordon, they're not mad at each other. You know, Gordon's like really pissed at first, but after a while they start making the best out of the situation. You know, they're like, hey guys, we gotta get out of this. The wives are just full on like, we don't know what to do, we're gonna die. It doesn't help that Patty is a complete neurotic and that she can't act. So it makes the movie a good, enjoyable experience. So, the wives then go back to the house, and they're like, hey, let's go, we're gonna put the medicine there. And then Diane is like, keep in mind that Diane is desperate throughout the entire movie. You know, like she sounds like she's desperate to just get the fuck out of this house. She does not want to be there anymore. So when Patty's like, we gotta turn around and give Mitch his medicine, you know, she was like a little, oh, okay, we gotta go back. And then when they're back at the house, this is what Diane says. She's like, hey, let's go upstairs and see what the boys are doing when we're gone. It's like, whoa, writers, you don't know what like character development is like at all. Not to mention, she is okay. I'll give them this, because she was kind of happy at the tiki guy's gone. So I guess that could have like switched something in her head to be like, ooh, now I love my husband again. I don't think that he's a complete insane person, like I'm going to in the next few minutes. Up there, it's so tacky. Like another ball simultaneously just decides out of nowhere, out of the blue, right when they are on the platform. It's like, god damn it. This is really, really, really bad and really unimaginative. Even for children. I shouldn't say that because I was super entertained by it as a kid. Fuck me. So they need to figure out what to do. You can't just sit there all day. They have to figure out what to do. And they get out of the attic because Rick Moranis talks about cockroaches, and Diane lets us know, like, and just to let you guys, they have obvious hints in this movie. Like, Diane in the beginning, one of her first lines is like, ooh, bugs, I hate bugs, daddy long legs, ooh, and then right when she's about to kiss, she's like, you know what, no, I'm gonna let you live, because Bug Hall, he was talking about the sock dildo, from American Pie.
Jeez, Mom, put that away.
One is Patty, she's like, the blocks on my car has this weird thing, and then the car moves, and that's how the kids come home. They're like, oh, all of our parents are gone. It's just the tackiest of tack, man. The tackiest shit in the world. So the kids come back, and they're of course they're excited. The parents are gone, and the way, not gonna lie, the way that they set up the parents leaving is actually kind of clever, because Wayne and Gordon, in the beginning when they were at work, they got these tickets to some science thing. I'm not paying attention. I'm a terrible critic. I'm not even a critic. Whatever the fuck, I'm a YouTuber. Who am I? What am I? God. They get these tickets to this thing, and they have to drive somewhere. And so he calls Diane, and he's like, hey. And by the way, they don't have a phone. They just always have this thing. And he always has wires just hanging. I feel like the science in this movie is just have wires, and then it's scientific. If there are wires poking out and some computer chips in there, then it's scientific enough. They get these tickets, and he's calling Diane, and Diane's like, no, you're not going. But before he's leaving a message, she couldn't find the stupid fucking helmet. And so he's leaving a message, he's like, hey, change of plans, me and Gordon, we're going to this thing. And then she cuts it off, she's like, no, Wayne. And so the kids, they hear that, and I thought that was clever. So, the kids are happy, especially the girl. Now, let me tell you guys something. The way that these kids celebrate being alone is so weird. The boys... The girl, I guess, is just normal. She invites her friends. She like throws a party and has a sleepover like other kids do. But the boys is like what is weird to me. These two, they have a volcano thing. They put chili inside of it, balloons full of chili, and they got hot dog people, and they had the volcano erupt. It fucks up the kitchen. Just a horrible mess, and they just have hot dog people pretend that they're just... Who has this much imagination when kids are weird? Especially boys. The girl's like, oh my god, you guys made a huge mess. All my girlfriends are gonna be over here, and you guys fucked up the place. And she's such an asshole. She's just such a typical girl who's just like, you guys have to be our servants, and blah, blah, and you guys have to do this, you guys have to do that, and there's like chips and dip and soda. I miss those parties. Why do we all have to get turned up all the time? let's just get some chip and dip and have some fun, man. So the girls come over and we get a little special appearance from Mila Kunis. And yeah, she has like a little part. And Bug Hall is kind of obsessed with her. He kind of likes her, and never talks about it again. He just says, "Oh, Mila Kunis is coming? Sweet, she's gonna be on That 70s Show. You know, she's gonna be dating her co-star Kelso. Nice and weird." It's like whatever, and they're like, "You have to be our servant." So he's like, "Wait a second, Mila Kunis is gonna be there? Okay, I'll be your servant." And then it's just never touched. It's just never talked about again. And the girl, she ends up being an asshole. So while the kids are having fun being alone, Wayne and the parents, they go on these misadventures. They go through the hall. They're in the room. The movie's nothing, dude. The movie really is nothing. Like, it just makes me really sad that I really liked this movie. Like, there's this song that Bug Hall is singing, and it's the weirdest fucking birds dying on the windowsill, and then there are people dying. It was a terrifying song. Something that if I was that was my son and I witnessed that, I would get him a therapist. I don't care how much money I have. If we're broke, I'd be like, we need something. This is weird. The main thing, guys, I haven't talked about this at all, which I should. This is the major problem why this movie fails. The first Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the production value is amazing. The sets are awesome. It looks, the backyard stuff and the house, everything about the movie is awesome. The scene where the kid falls into cereal, just everything, it works out in that movie. Even the cheesiness I accept, like the cheesy relationship between the neighbor. I like it though. It has characters. It knows who these characters are. Unlike Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which is just throwing things and just hoping it'll stick. And it's not sticking. It's just, they're throwing it and it's bouncing off the wall and it's going straight to the ground. And they don't care. They're like, okay, well, let's try this again. It's like that card game. I was just watching Groundhog Day with my buddy. Better movie. And Bill Murray and Andy McDowell, they play this game. I guess the game. You just throw cards in a hat and you try to make it. That's what this movie is, man. They're just throwing cards in a hat, and they're like, oh, that one made it, that one made it, that one made it. Because there are things that could have been exciting if they just had more production value and they just put more time in it. The budget was only $7 million. That's nothing, dude. Especially for a movie like this, it's absolutely nothing. The TV show Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, has more production value and has more thought and sense than anything in this movie. What I've tried to get is the green screen in this movie. They are just in front of green screen. They are just in front of green screen. There's $7 million of those dollars went to Rick Moranis to probably reprise his role. At the time, his wife was battling cancer and stuff. He probably did not want to fucking do this shit. So yeah, they probably spent all their money on him, and everything else was just like, whatever, guys, we'll just have green screen, that'll solve anything. That'll solve everything. There's even the scene where they have to be on this roller coaster thing, this racetrack. Other shots when they're not doing close-ups of them on the cart. The people aren't even on it anymore, man. It's literally just a race car going down a track. Like, the people just do not care at all. This is what I need. So, Daddy Longlegs comes. No, actually, you know what? Before I get to that, there is a really, really terrifying scene. I feel like every single one of these parts in this series, the Honey, I Fucked Up series, starring Rick Moranis, every single one, there's that really hardcore, intense moment where the producers and Walt Disney wants you to be like, oh Jesus. The first one, it was the cereal scene, which that, when I was a kid, made me cry, man. It made me fucking freak out. Did its job there. Congratulations. The second one, just the fact that the thing zaps the baby. And then this one, there's this cockroach, or there's this roach that chases after them, and they go into this roach repellent place, and the thing assaults Diane. It literally is trying to get something out of that. It's eating her, and it's genuinely terrifying. It's really, really terrifying. That's where they probably put all the rest of the money, because the cockroach didn't look too bad for its time, I guess I should say. I'm high, don't listen to me. Because Jenny's like, okay, I'm gonna throw this party, and getting out of control because she invites this dude that she really likes. What's his name? Stupid. Ricky King. That's what it is. Penny King, if you're watching, shout out. I do a Chaos Comedy Night. Everyone should go. April 13th. Be there, be square. Ricky King comes in, and he's total 2005, or no, never mind, 1997. This movie came out a year after I was born. Shit. And the kid's a dick. He's trying to get into her pants. Kind of, sort of. She's like, no. Ran from her mom, and that's when her mom's like, you know what? She can take care of herself. And it's like, yeah, that's what you should be worrying about. Ricky King gets pissed that she's like, no, I don't want to fuck you. And Ricky King's like, fine, I'm just going to fuck up your uncle's house. And that's what he does. He just fucks up her uncle's house. He just starts messing around with her things. It's like pushing her, the kid, the two dudes. And the two dudes are like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. Dog's freaking out. There's this bubble machine that they jump in, and it gets them into a dip. And the bubble machine makes no sense, too, because they're right next to the stairs. So it's like, you guys could have some fun with this, you know, but I think that's too much thinking. Daddy Longlegs. Let's cut to this. There's a Daddy Longlegs that comes in, he swoops in, he tries to save Diane and the other one. And the thing is, though, he's stuck, and they have to save him. And Diane, she kind of has a moment with this thing. This is real shit, guys. She has a moment with the Daddy Longlegs. Because before in the movie, I told you guys, there was the thing where she's like, I'm going to kill these bugs. And then she's like, Daddy Longlegs, and no, I'm going to stop. Whatever, I'm going to let you go. So they have a moment, and she's like, oh, maybe bugs aren't too bad. But the moment is just too much. Like, I can understand, because she's the size of him. She's like, ooh, I wouldn't want anyone squashing me. I get it. Never mind, I'm never going to squash you again. I think that you're cool. But, no, like, she starts, like, Daddy. She starts calling it Daddy. Call a fucking spider Daddy. I don't care if it's a Daddy Longlegs. Don't call him Daddy. You fucking weirdo. Diane, you really need to go on vacation. She's just like, hey Daddy. Hey Daddy, hey Daddy, how's it going? My husband isn't here. Fuck it, we're the same size. So, they're downstairs, and Wayne is like, okay, I can get into the stereo, and I can do some we can speak, and then they can hear us through the speakers. So they succeed, and Gordon pretends that he's God, which is humorous. Gets the boys out, and the kids are like, okay, dads, where are you? And they're like, we're shrunk. And the kids are like, what? Not the worst part. I'm actually gonna say the best part about this movie. The thing that makes this movie the tip of the cherry. The cherry on top. I'm getting stoned. These kids, after all of this stuff that these parents have been through, and they're like, oh, our parents have seen everything we've done. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Alright, let's zap them up. You know what the kids say? Bug Hall is like, hey, why do we have to bring them back? We can just put them in a hamster cage and we can just live life by ourselves. And I was watching it with my girlfriend, and we were like, what? That's literal kidnapping. This kid has demented songs in his head. He's hiding Sports Illustrated, and now he has a hamster cage with no hamster. And the kids are totally, they're thinking about it. And then the parents, we cut to them and they're like, what? I would like the ending if they just did that. If they just went totally fucked up and we found out these kids are deranged. And they decide that they're gonna torture their parents. This is what you get for doing this and that and this. Even if you put them in a hamster cage, which would make no sense, they can easily get out. They're smaller than hamsters. Way smaller than hamsters. They're the size of Ant-Man. Everyone should watch Ant-Man. They don't. They're not completely demented like how I think that they are, and continue to think that they're going to be. But they're not. They're not as demented. They're like, okay, no, we shouldn't do it. They bring the parents back, and they all have a moment. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You can go to sports camp. Oh, you can be alone sometimes, and you have to eat your pills more. That kid has nothing. He's just, I'll take my pills. I fucked up. And then the movie ends with a nice little thing. They're picking him up from baseball camp, and his car, dude, Wayne's car is kooky. He just can't live life with just being normal. There are things that have to be rearranged. Okay, so he's like, what did I miss when I was gone in camp? Rick Moranis is like, well, I moved the tiki into the backyard, and then we cut to, and the tiki is blown up into the backyard. What the fuck, man? How does that make things better for you, Diane? What made things better? That he blew it up and he put it in the backyard. Now you just have a big ass tiki thing in your backyard. What did that do to solve the situation? These people need therapy. They don't only need therapy. Wayne needs to be locked up. Just for a while. I don't think that he's completely deranged. He's just not all there. And he needs some evaluation testing. He just needs some testing. I'm stoned. It's so bad it's good. So if you want to pop up Netflix, watch Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, and get stoned, then I say yes, do it. Also, if you have a kid, do it. It's literally perfect for kids. I am just as stupid as a kid. Always will be. And I was a dumb kid. And I loved the film. So, you know what? Fuck it. Go for it, guys. Guys, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter at @I'mJust_420. That's all I have. Barely tweet things. Sometimes I tweet things mostly to promote myself. But also, April 13th, Chaos Comedy if you're in Grants Pass at the Hall. It's going to be me and a bunch of my friends. We're going to be doing sketches, all that stuff. It's super, super funny stuff. You want to come in, and if you're 21 over, we have a special drink for you guys. You guys can drink. But if you're not, you can still come in. It's packed though, and it's awesome. I shouldn't say that it's packed, but the last show was packed, so fingers crossed. Alright guys, yeah. Stay tuned for my next video. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
From the makers of the smash hit Honey, I Shrunk the Kids comes a hilarious new movie, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
You idiot! Don't kill me, guys! They can step on us!
Now, they'll go to any lengths
I'm scared stiff.
and any heights to get the kids' attention before it's too late.
Get ready to party. You can't have a party.
What are you gonna do about it, Thumbelina? You are dead meat, mister!
Clark, you're 3/4 of an inch tall.
It's the fastest.
Hold on! It's a jump!
The laundry chute!
It's the funniest.
We're going over!
I don't think we're using enough fabric softener.
Jump!
Hang on.
To what?
It's the tastiest.
They're teenage girls. How much can they eat? Watch out!
And it's the wildest motion picture event of the year. Disney's Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
You know, Dad, I didn't invite those boys over.
Coming exclusively to video.
Don't do drugs, kids.